Okay, so now we're gradually adding more and more buildings going behind the porch, or actually in front of the porch here. And those buildings do need to connect up to that VP. And you really only need two sides connected to the VP on here. So you want to get some variety in your buildings. One of the things that makes art interesting to look at is variety. So if you get some different heights and get some different shapes, it'll make it a little bit more interesting. And your buildings don't have to look exactly like mine, but they do have to follow that rule of perspective. So the sides on here have to attach to that VP number 2. And that's like a spire on the top. On that side I'm drawing a little line to that vanishing point. I'm not going to see that much of the side on that building. And again, you're lining up the sides to the VP, but you don't have to draw it all the way back there. You don't want it to go back to infinity. And here you're getting kind of like a layer cake effect where you're layering blocks on top of blocks for this building. Kind of like a pyramid type effect. And what you can start to do here is those buildings that are far off in the distance, you can just draw them as a silhouette. So the farther back a building is, the less detail it's going to have. So you can start to silhouette stuff in the background. But you do want to make it look like there's stuff in all the space. So the buildings that are closest to us, those you can see multiple sides too. But in the far off distance, you'll see, I'm going to go back there in a minute and I'm going to be working on some just simple silhouettes. Right now I'm working on windows. To do windows, you do them as stripes. So you're starting out with that vertical line and then connecting up those, the top and the bottom of the vertical line to the vanishing point. And then you divide up the window space. So remember that rule that as the windows go closer to the vanishing point, they get closer together and they get narrower. So they're wider the farther, the closer they get to you, and as they go back, get skinnier and skinnier. And here's where I'm adding some more silhouettes, getting another spire in there in a minute. It's kind of like a pencil top. And it's good, again, if the buildings are different heights, they're different levels, that all helps to create variety. And I'm doing this freehand. It's best if you do it with a ruler though. But remember, I'm working with the whiteboard markers, and those will start to wipe off if I put a lot of detail on them. And if I use a ruler on top of them. So now I'm just darkening my lines. You don't have to do this, just so you can make sure you can still see the drawing. So this is the outline of the clouds, and the clouds are freeform, they're organic shapes, so they can be kind of loose. They do still follow kind of like the rules of perspective. So the cloud that's closest to us is a little bit more slender than the cloud that's above, and that's true in perspective. Okay, so you do want to have about 5 buildings with windows on them. They can be striped windows, they can be a combination of striped or rectangular, but just get some variety. Don't do them all vertical stripes, for instance. Get some variety going on within your windows themselves. And use the vanishing point on the side to get the windows on the side. And that's pretty much it.